Hello, hello. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to TrendSpider Live. My name is Mike, and today we are going live for yet another earnings. Interesting earnings today. We got GameStop, GME. And here on my chart, I have it pulled up on the monthly time frame. And we're going to start by doing a top-down analysis of GME. And if you guys are out there in the chat, say what's up, say hi in the chat below, whether you're on X or you're on YouTube. Glad to see who's joining for us. Let me know what you guys are trading today. Let me know if you guys are watching GameStop. I assume most of you guys are, but go ahead and say hi in the chat. Hello, hello, Layla. Good to see you in here. But yeah, on my chart right now, I'm actually using the auto fib indicator, one of the ones that was submitted to the TrendSpider hackathon. And it's pretty interesting because I actually have it set to the monthly chart. And I believe it's going back pretty far here. And the way it works is if we open the auto fib bands right here, you see there's a look back period, which is set at 265. And so what it's going to do, it's going to look back 265, in this case, monthly candles. And it's going to plot the highest and lowest periods of the top and bottom of the range. And then, of course, in between, we will see the Fibonacci levels. And on the monthly, it's interesting because you can see that we have been using this 23.6% level as support ever since it broke up out of it back in May of 2024. So pretty interesting there, if you ask me. I think this is definitely pretty much like the 20 level is where bulls are definitely going to want to hold. Let's see exactly what this level is. 1999, practically 20 on the dot for this 23.6 level. And you can see we've been reacting to it several times. And then if we head down to the weekly, by the way, I will drop the link to this auto fib bands indicator in the chat below right now. If you guys wanted to try it out and follow along, the link is down below. Also, TrendSpider just started our pre-sale for the holiday sale. And so you can actually test out the platform today for just $1. And you can save up to 70% off if you decide to just go ahead and grab a plan. But if you wanted to try out the platform for just $1, you can using the link that I will drop now down below, this trendspider.cc/YouTube or YT live. But anyway, let's take a look at the weekly chart now of GameStop. And again, if you guys are out there in the chat, say what's up. Tell me what you guys are watching. I see someone just reposted the stream on X. Love to see that. But what I'm going to do now is continue and look. Let's take a look at the weekly chart here. As you can see on the weekly with the 265-day look back on our auto fib bands, it is starting to move up here, this 23.6% level, but it's just right above 20. So again, another level there at 20. And then you can see the price has been bouncing back and forth between the 23.6 and 38.2 level here. But, you know, I guess I'm not really trading GME. If you guys are trading GME out there, hello, I'm a bachelor. What is going on? But yeah, if you guys are trading GME, I don't know, maybe consider maybe along here and then wait to see if there's a 50% retracement, because that's clearly where resistance was. And that's probably where a lot of people are in base. I mean, I don't know if there's anyone still holding from, you know, the whole 2021 days. But it's clear that once, you know, price gets up there, even up here to, what is this, the 76.4 and the golden level, the 61.8, that there is clear resistance. I want to hear from you. GME chart is flying. That would be awesome. I want to hear that from myself as well. And when I go down here on the daily, you can see right now we're actually testing the 23.6% level on a rolling 265-day look back. So interesting movements here. I think, yeah, this 23.6 level on the daily, you know, we've been reacting to it quite a bit over the last however long, ever since last earnings when it, you know, when we tanked, or this was 2 earnings ago. Sorry, the stock tanked about 20% or so, a little bit over 20%. But yeah, speaking of previous earnings, let's do a sidekick prompt to see what is actually going on in the back end of GameStop. So I'm going to send in my good old sidekick prompt. If you guys don't know what sidekick is, it is TrendSpider's AI that is connected to all of the market's data. And as you can see right here, I just prompted it to analyze GameStop ahead of today's earnings, essentially. And I'm telling it to summarize fundamentals, including obviously revenue, EPS, price to earnings, margins, all that good stuff. And by the way, if you guys are joining in for your first TrendSpider Live today, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, because we go live, recently a few times a week. It'll slow down into the holiday season, but we are always going live. We're always having guests on, some pretty awesome guests as well. We've had Matt Caruso, we've had Tushar Shande, creator of the Stochastic RSI. So lots of cool people. I'm learning with them. You guys can learn with me. So it's a really good time. So make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And we're actually going live the next 2 days. If you guys didn't know, FOMC is tomorrow. So the FOMC rate decision will be obviously massive tomorrow. It's going to be probably definitely the biggest event of the week. We'll talk about that more in a second here. Hello, Mr. 125C. Didn't know there's earnings call. Is that soon? So the market closes in 9 minutes, and we should get the earnings numbers shortly after. Let me double check the exact time for you again here on GME. Yeah, so 5 minutes after the bell. So in about 14 minutes, we're going to get the GameStop numbers. And then they will have an earnings call probably in about an hour or two, depending on the company. I can look that up later on, but the call probably won't be for at least another hour. But let's take a look at what is expected for the numbers. Speaking of the numbers in GameStop here. So obviously you can see Sidekick has this beautiful output. Expected EPS is 18 cents. Revenue expected is 987 million, which is an estimated 14.8% beat over last Q3 2024. And then we also have some recent performance. Sorry if you can hear the dog in the background. I think pest control is here. But anyways, let's see. From recent performance, this is plotting the actual EPS and revenue and how they performed. So as you can see, EPS has actually been killing it on GameStop. So the surprise percents have been pretty big, 47% and even like 300% growth, compared to the estimated analyst expectations of the EPS. And then revenue over here, you can see is not as good. So last quarter, they actually had a 14% surprise, growth. You can see the one green bar right here. This is one of pretty much their only growth in revenue over the last few years, other than quarter two of 2023. But as you can see on the projections here, which is really nice, those two additional green bars, they're expected to, increase their revenue for the next couple of quarters. And quarter four, of course, is a massive quarter for GameStop, being holiday season. If you guys didn't see, retail stocks, like Macy's, Kohl's, those stocks have been flying lately. Most of them, at least, like AEO, some of them jumped over 40% on earnings, probably because, just of holiday season. Hard to have seen that one coming, but also not, it's Q4. Everyone's been saying the economy's bad. DoorDash tanked because people aren't spending money, but we got retail stocks over here flying. So maybe people are prioritizing gifts over their DoorDash orders. Who knows? Let's take a look just at the overall take that Sidekick is going to give us for GameStop. So, of course, the data shows GME has genuinely improved profitability, aka EPS. 4 consecutive massive EPS beats can't be ignored, of course. However, the revenue is concerning. I would agree. So the key question tonight is, can they show Q2's revenue growth wasn't a one-off, which would be really nice for them. And if revenue holds or grows, the Bulls win. So I guess Sidekick is saying if revenue beats, it should look pretty good. However, forward guidance will also be massive because this is, of course, a pretty big quarter for, most companies, like retail companies in general. So hopefully their guidance continues to be good for the start of the year. Black Friday has essentially ended and all of that at this point. Holidays are still intact. So, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Let's see. So let's close this out and take a look at the chart. Does not provide forward guidance is interesting. You can ask the AI not about dark pool data, but you should be able to ask it about social sentiment in general, or at least news sentiment. It has several news sources that it does pull from. So we can take a look. Another thing I actually wanted to take a look here is analyst estimates. There's mostly sell ratings here on GME. There really hasn't been many analysts covering it from the looks of it. Like the last one I see is June 2025. And then before that, March, with like a 13 and a 10 price target. And from here, those are significantly lower. So that, is about a 50% drop to 10. So interesting price targets there. Well, actually, this one, they're both like 13. There was a 10, though. Wedbush. They keep just updating. This is the same people. So currently it's 1350 and a sell rating. So will be interesting. Will be interesting. And I believe, let's see. Someone is asking, what were you asking about? Another dividend of warrants would be interesting. Oh, news sentiments. There's CNBC recommendations here, which is pretty cool. But yeah, let me just go ahead and ask Sidekick about, can you analyze the social/news sentiment of GME going ahead of this earnings report? Is it overall bullish or bearish? Also analyze, it can analyze unusual options flow. Is this bullish or bearish? With just some bullets and a key summary. So we'll see what Sidekick can show us sentiment-wise and unusual options activity-wise as we come into the market close here. It is 3 minutes until the market closes, and we're going to get the earnings numbers, the EPS, revenue, all that stuff, about 5 minutes after the close. Let me put on my Mentor Q levels. Also, I'm going to do the 1-day max, 1-day min. You go to intraday. Let's add this one. I don't need that. Let's just add a few here. Go down to the 15-minute. We'll hide the auto fib bands for now. Maybe we'll leave them on the 15. Let's see if any of these things are lining up with each other. So as you can see, where's the 1-day? Oh, the 1-day min is there. Okay, so from the 1-day minimum to the 1-day maximum, there's about, a $3 move priced in or expected to happen. I'm seeing about a 13.971% chance on the Mentor Q gamma levels. At least I see someone out there in the chat is seeing about a 9.5% price change with a 5-to-1 calls to puts ratio. That is interesting. This Mentor Q gamma levels indicator, I have it set to intraday. So it was last updated, obviously today, not that long ago, I believe just 15 minutes ago. So this is pretty current and up to date. And let me make sure I put on after hours data because the market is about to close right now. Let's throw on our 1-minute chart and get rid of the auto fib bands for now. because GME is actually dumping into earnings. How much of a decrease was that? About a 1.6% decrease here over the last 20 minutes or so. Got the 1 minute chart open with the market closing in 1 minute. So we'll see if we can catch any action here as the market closes. And I'm curious, I'm going to start a poll. What do you guys think GME is going to do during these earnings? By the way, if you guys are just joining in, welcome. The market just closed. GME is reporting their numbers in about 5 minutes. If you guys haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit like, because we're going to continue going live throughout the next couple of days here. And also, I'm starting a poll right now. Does GME have a double beat on earnings? Vote yes or no. Does GME beat both revenue and EPS? The poll is live on YouTube. Sorry if you're on X. There's no poll there, but go ahead and vote. Let me know what you guys think. Generally, our audience is pretty on the spot. Got pretty much all yeses so far. So everyone is bullish today on GME earnings. Love to see that. We're getting some interesting movement as the market closed. Here is the first candle of the after hours session here. And how big of a move even was that? That was about a 1% candle right there. Yeah, guys, absolutely make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, because we're going live for FOMC tomorrow. If you guys didn't know, now you know. There's FOMC tomorrow. The rate decision is going to be incredibly important. But right now, let's see what happens with GME. Let me know if you guys are in any plays on GME. Are you guys playing options? You guys holding stock? What is the deal? What are you guys playing? And let me figure out if I can go ahead and play the call for you guys right now as we wait for the numbers to release. Wow, they have a very, very dated investor relations page. Wow. Let's see. I can't even honestly believe this is their page. But I'm checking right now for their earnings call, annual meeting, annual and quarterly reports. This is interesting. Not really seeing anything about their call right now, which is interesting. I will do my best to find it for you guys. I'm looking around for it right now. Mr. 125C's got shares, warrants, options, short dated, longer dated, leaps, name it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Oh my. GME just flew off my chart to the downside, hit the 1-day minimum right here at 2174. Believe that also lined up with the 23.6% level. So you definitely want that to hold. Investor relations page is exactly the same as Berkshire. You are 100% correct. Pretty much just brings you to the SEC website. Here's some news. But I am not seeing anything, you guys, about the call. Well, wait, you guys seen earnings numbers out? Someone said earnings beat, stock down, classic. However, oh yeah, the earnings numbers are out. EPS beats, sales miss. I'm seeing a sales miss here on the Benzinga news thing here on TrendSpider. So it's looking like a half B, and sales, maybe it's wrong, maybe it's not. We have seen Benzinga put out some premature, not accurate news stuff in the past. So we'll see what happens. But I'm seeing a half B. I'm seeing an EPS beat and a revenue miss for now. And that is it so far. They should try selling games instead of Funko Pops. Yeah, I don't know what GameStop has to do, but all I know is I feel like everyone doesn't go into a store to buy games these days. I mean, you can just download them online. GoNoGo says go on December 8th. That is interesting. We can pull that up in a second. But right now, how much are we down from the close? We're down about 2%, which is not that bad. What are you guys seeing out there? Let me refresh the news widget here and see if that thing updated. Benzinga, a couple more articles here. We see Benzinga News Desk. I'm sorry. GameStop says Bitcoin holdings were valued at $519 million at the close of Q3. And then we got another one that says GameStop shares trading lower after the company reported Q3 sales that missed expectations. So unfortunately, I am not seeing a double beat here. But yes, EPS, adjusted EPS, that is, of 24 cents, beating the 20-cent estimate. But as Sidekick told us, the most important thing into this was the earning or the sales revenue. And yeah, I see 821 million, missing a 987 million estimate. If you guys are seeing anything else, let me know. But right now, look what I'm seeing. I am seeing the 1-day minimum on the Mentor Q gamma levels being tested here around 2176. And also, if you guys are just joining in, there's some more people joining in. Again, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe because we're going live for FOMC tomorrow again. If this is your guys' first TrendSpider Live, welcome. We are always going live for major market events like this. And also, if you guys wanted to follow along with us on the platform, we are running our holiday sale right now. You can try out TrendSpider for just $1 and get up to 70% off. And you can follow along. But yeah, look at this 1-day minimum level right here. And if you guys want to check out the holiday sale for TrendSpider, I'm dropping the link in the chat right now. But let me run a GME earnings report deep dive on Sidekick now. Let's see if this actually works. Or not actually works. If all the data is actually out and in the system yet. Obviously, it was just released a few minutes ago, so we'll see what happens. And as you can see, holding this level well and starting to move up just a bit here. And if you guys wanted to check out these Mentor Q gamma levels indicator, I also will drop the link down below for them because they are a pretty cool indicator. And let me take a look at the poll as well, you guys, because about 71% of you guys voted that we will see a double beat. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that happened, which is all right. The stock really is not down that bad here. We're currently down about 5%, down at the 1-day minimum. Literally right there at the 1-day minimum, which is exactly what the Mentor Q gamma levels were pricing in. So we'll see if the stock can go ahead and hold this level. Yeah, I mean, report is mixed. Yeah, no, you're correct, Bavin Pate. People react before reading. 100%. These earnings moves that happen right as the reports are dropped can definitely, I wouldn't say be misleading, but they don't always. They're more of a a jerk reaction than anything. And I wouldn't put because we've seen this multiple times in the past where, even numbers come in good, stock dumps, the next day after it flies right back up. Keep in mind the market is not open. The liquidity is much lower. A lot of people are not trading. They're done trading for the day and are not even going to look potentially until the next day when the market opens back up. And let's take a look at what Sidekick has to say about the GameStop earnings report. It said, I'm going to have to rerun this because it used the last quarter. Oh, no, report on December 9th. No, that's perfect. That is perfect. Let's take a look here. So you can see the EPS trend is on the up and up. Revenue trend is pretty not really on the up and up. That is their biggest concern, I would say, and that what Sidekick was saying as well. Revenue bottomed in quarter 125, but it has rebounded, I guess. Yeah, sure. Let's see. Free cash flow analysis. It looks like 4 consecutive quarters of positive free cash flow based on this. Let's take a look here. No guidance provided. Remember, someone in the chat said that they generally don't provide guidance. It looks like, what do we got here? Pretty good cash position. Current ratio of 11, which is good. Debt ratio, it says increased from near 0, but still manageable, which is interesting. But bottom line, this is what overall the Sidekick thinks. GameStop has successfully stabilized operations and achieved profitability, but the Bitcoin treasury strategy transforms this from a retail turnaround to a leveraged crypto bet with a retail business attached. Sounds kind of like a MicroStrategy. Bull see capital allocation genius, bear see desperation, masquerading as innovation. Wow, dropping some rhymes here. Q2 results were generally impressive operationally, but sustainability depends entirely on management's investment acumen going forward. So pretty interesting report here. Let me refresh our news widget, but we are still currently trading at the 1-day minimum at the Menther Q gamma levels. But yeah, I'm still seeing the 821. I might actually rerun this prompt once the data actually goes live into the reports tab. Let me re-add it. Maybe it's in there now. Yeah, 821 million. Let me go ahead and rerun this. And this was, quarter 3. I was saying quarter 3 from there. Q3 25 ER reports on 12/9/25. But yeah, I think that is probably most of the move that we're going to see until the earnings call starts, which should be 4 p.m. Eastern. Interesting. 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm not sure if that is right. I'm still trying to find, I'm on their investor relations page at the moment, looking for anything to do with their calls and their releases, of course. Guys, I am not seeing a link to their call here. That is interesting. And yeah, so we're actually testing the low of the after hours day right here. As you can see, revenue should have been a beat. They're still getting an analysis here from our sidekick again. But yeah, miss on both change percent from year over year and surprise on revenue, but EPS pretty good. 33% beat, it looks like, or so. 300% year over year increase on EPS. No, I guess maybe, yeah, they don't do a call. Maybe I'm not seeing anything. So that is interesting. What's my position on Oracle earnings? They're doing earnings tomorrow, I believe. I don't have a position in Oracle myself, so I'd have to look into it more. Give me a second here. After we're done kind of analyzing GME a little bit more, we can take a look at Oracle. But let me go ahead and real quick also and end this poll. And if this is you guys' first TrendSpider Live, again, welcome. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow again for the FOMC Live. We're going to have a very long live stream tomorrow because it's going to start at 2 p.m. Eastern for the FOMC rate decision and go all the way into after hours for additional earnings. I believe Oracle is one of them, right? Let me double check. Go live for so many earnings. Yeah, we got Oracle and Adobe tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we're going live for Broadcom, which is AVGO earnings, Costco, and Lululemon. So definitely make sure you guys tune in for those. Here we go. This is definitely the right thing here on Sidekick. Let's scroll down all the way to the bottom. The Bitcoin bet is bold. Bitcoin bet is bold and high risk, high reward, of course. Retail business is stabilizing but shrinking. No longer a pure retail play. It's a hybrid Bitcoin treasury company with a legacy gaming business attached. Interesting. So yeah, the bull case and the bear case is exactly this. Bulls bet on Cohen's capital allocation genius and Bitcoin's trajectory. Bears see a declining retailer masking weakness with financial engineering. We'll see what actually happens. But that is a pretty solid overall take of what is going on here. GME puts safe. Yeah, I don't know. We're sitting there at the 1 day minimum. If your inputs, they might be profitable tomorrow. But at the same time, if they don't go below that 1 day minimum, it's a potential chance that you're going to get hit a decent amount with theta decay. But it depends. If they're like at the money, you're probably fine. No, if you're like 23 strike and open at 22. But yeah, about a 5% dip. Perfect reaction to the level so far. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave them down in the chat below. We can always ask Sidekick anything that you guys want to see. If you guys didn't see today, Bitcoin and silver were leading the day along with XRT, which is the retail sector. If you guys haven't seen silver, silver has absolutely been killing it. Let me pull up a quick chart of silver here. Let me put off my Mentor Q levels. Oh, look at this, you guys. This is clearly where the money is going right now. I just open up my stock market map here. This pretty much has all of the sectors included inside of it. And the things towards the top right are the leaders. Over here on the right side, we got the week leaders and the day leaders. And over here, we have the year and the 30-day leaders. Silver is leading the charge on both, intraday, weekly, monthly, and yearly. So silver is getting all of the action right now. And then we got next up is XRT. Doing pretty good today. up about 1% since close yesterday. Week today up 0.22%. And then over 30 days up about 8%. So yeah, money has been flowing, like I said earlier, into the retail sector. And if you guys wanted to set up a stock market map like this, you can actually do so on TrendSpider. Just get a watch list of sector ETFs and put them in your stock market map right here. Yeah, you go ahead and it's on TrendSpider, of course, and you click stock market map. You click add a map and you do a custom bubble chart. And then one of these will add. I actually have two right here. And then you can customize it. You can do any list of symbols. You can even do live ETFs. For example, right now, XRT is doing well. So if you wanted to, you can actually do the same thing on the XRT holdings and see which stocks in XRT are performing the best. Let's do that here. Currently, it's WRBY. We got AEO. We got SVV. Interesting stocks. I haven't really heard of some of these. ASO. This is Academy Sports. And just like that, I'm able to find what stocks are performing well there in the XRT sector. Let me actually go ahead and add a watch list on my left side over here. I'll show you guys a couple things. So one, you can open XRT as well on the watch list, and you can see the same kind of stuff right here on the day. So you see WRBY is absolutely flying today. So is ASO. AEO has been crushing it. They had earnings. I think they had a power earnings gap right there. Pulled back a little bit and up 6% today. Abercrombie and Finch also massive earnings power gap up and has continued up ever since. Another thing that I like to do, find stocks with relative performance greater than 90, and I like to do 100-day rate of change greater than 30 in the XRT ETF. And this is our market scanner. You can literally just type in a prompt of whatever you want to find. It can be a technical indicator, it can be fundamentals, whatever it is, and it'll just find that for you. And it's searching XRT. And so these are going to be the strongest stocks in the XRT ETF right now. Got Macy's, Kohl's, which is KSS. Again, another power earnings gap to the upside. It was up like 40% in a day. Crazy. AEO, American Eagle Outfitters. Again, another power earnings gap to the upside. And you guys, we also have a power earnings gap scanner. Let's add this to the left. Recent power gap. Let's do the we'll do the NYSE. See probably most of these stocks appearing in here as well. Carvana, look at power gap right there. Dollar General, power gap. A lot of these. Let's check out Lulu. Yeah, Lulu has earnings coming up this week. Tune in live on Thursday for that. If you guys are still around, hit the like button, subscribe, so you can join us tomorrow and the day after that for more earnings live streams. What else we got on here? This is, recent power gaps. Again, Carvana, Kohl's. What else is this? Victoria's Secret. This one has been absolutely flying. Look at this Victoria's Secret chart. Again, kind of makes sense. Holiday season. The stock bottomed here in April, and clearly people were expecting sales to be good for holiday season. And we can take a look at the reports tab here for Victoria's Secret. Not very good. Their revenue has been pretty stable overall. EPS, very, very wonky, kind of retail type stuff. They're pretty seasonal and stuff like that. So yeah, that was interesting. And I've been looking at this rotation for a while. I know money was flowing into XLV for a bit, but that has recently fallen off. So we'll see what happens there. Let's check out SMH. SMH is pretty much one of like a risk on. It's a semiconductor sector. We have the sector ETFs here. So it's up. It's pretty flat today. But again, money is flowing back into crypto today. We got Bitcoin up pretty decent today, about 2.74%, starting to bottom out. Silver again, XRT, like I said, energy's up there. Energy's been okay lately. Got gold, of course. Kind of crazy that Silver's overtaking gold, but gold still looks pretty good. What else we got? Staples are up. And healthcare is taking the most heat, minus 1.1%. Interesting stuff here. XLV clearly hit its previous resistance over here from September of 2024, which is over a year ago, actually, has essentially made a double top and is coming back down to this level probably. So we'll see what happens on healthcare. Yeah. I think either today or tomorrow. So definitely want to secure that now if you want to. And you can save up to 70% over the next day or so using the link I just dropped below in the chat to sign up for TrendSpider. Let's go back to GME and see what's going on. And look at this, guys. Super easy. I'm going to find stocks reporting earnings today. Super easy to find anything that you want to find now in TrendSpider, thanks to all of the AI features. Honestly, like, it's super nice. Yeah, we're still trading pretty low there, right at that 1 day minimum. Today, oh, let's scan in the I don't know. Let's scan in the starting just the S&P 500. See what's going on in the S&P. Did AZO report probably this morning? So AutoZone reported this morning. Let's hide this. You guys didn't know. Wow, AutoZone reported this morning and is down 10%, 9% on the day. Is this Campbell's? Yeah, the Campbell's soup also down 7%. So those are the other two stocks in the S&P that reported today, Campbell's and AZO, AutoZone. Wow, look how terrible Campbell's looks, you guys. Is no one eating soup anymore? What is going on? That is insane. AZO. AutoZone's looking, I mean, their stock has been going pretty good. Is Chewy tomorrow morning? Let's take a look at the Chewy chart. Hide these drawings real quick. I think Chewy's like interesting look here. Let's see if we got a little trend line action going on. This was drawn previously. Looks like it broke out of like this sort of there's like a triangle pattern to the downside. Let's just go and remove that for now. But I'm seeing like a trend line break from like right there or so. Let me take a look at the monthly here. See what we're dealing with. So we're trading about right there. We're trading pretty much at IPO price on Chewy, you guys. And of course, it flew up there in 2021. Want to know what this would be potentially good for is our Weinstein indicator. Let's take a look at Weinstein's stage analysis here on the weekly chart. So these dark green candles are supposed to signify a stage 2 uptrend. Let me double check. Make sure this is set right. Yeah, stage 2. And this is stage 3, the consolidation, and stage 4 breakdown there. So played out pretty well over in 2021. And it looks like we were getting a stage 2 uptrend starting here. That's a small stage 1 weekly candle break over the SMA, the 30-week SMA. And then, yeah, now it's looking not as good. We're seeing some red candles there, which is a stage 4 decline. We'll see if that holds true or not. But yeah, we're trading under that 30-week SMA. Not trending super well. It was trending well, but it did recently break that 30-week SMA. And it's below the 21. Let's take a look at, let's add an SMA on my chart. Let's add a 200 to start and see what's going on. So this 200 SMA is the thing that is holding this stock up. So definitely want to hold on to that 200 SMA. If we throw on the auto fib bands, you can also see there's clear resistance here at the 23.6. But a 50% retracement to the upside could bring you to 67 eventually if we ever start uptrending again. So I don't know. If you're bullish on the company itself, we can maybe ask Sidekick for a fundamental analysis of the company. But if you're overall bullish, the revenue growth is pretty solid. Pretty solid there. All green bars. EPS, flipped positive back in Q1 of 2023, it looks like. Or for at least, grew. So they actually have decent EPS now. Looks like projections are pretty low on EPS, but revenues expect to continue growing. I think I really like the idea of Chewy here, but we really want to see this trend start to trend better overall. It was trending really nicely until, was that an earnings report there where it killed the trend? Kind of topped out here in around there, Q1 25 report, which is interesting. Look at these, actually, these fib bands here. Looks like we're reacting against this 23.6 again. Pretty useful indicator. And then we got the 39 level there. Yeah, that's not as useful, I don't think, as like a weekly, I would say. But yeah, I would say, if you're a trend follower, you probably want to see this thing back above 40 before you want to jump in. But if you're kind of a DCA investor type trader, and you want to just hold this for the long term, you can maybe start, nibbling as it's not trending as well. However you like to look at the markets, there's so many different ways to trade. Let's take a look at the chats indicator while we're here. Chats, you see the momentum is not very good. It was good here, again, as I was saying, but ever since then, it really has been kind of declining there. We actually do have a really cool RSI divergence indicator. I'm curious to see if there's anything going on there. There was a bullish divergence over there, which played out pretty nicely. Let's take a look at the daily chart. Hide these fib bands. So we do have a potential bullish revergence, bullish RSI divergence forming. You can see there is one here, which is kind of interesting, and it did play out pretty good. I'm not seeing an earnings call, you guys. I thought there would be a call, but I'm not seeing it anywhere. If you guys are seeing a call, let me know. But I mean, their investor relations report is like 5 links and a white screen. And I click on them, it just brings me to their SEC filings. Yeah, I'm really not seeing it. Let me double check again. I usually can find this stuff, you guys, and I'm not seeing it. So they must just not do a call. They did an annual meeting back like 6 months ago. Yeah, maybe it is tomorrow morning. Yeah, I guess they never do one. Yeah, so no call, you guys, unfortunately. No call. But if you guys are still sticking around, let me know if you guys have any questions about the platform, about anything in the markets. We're going to be going live again for FOMC tomorrow. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get alerted once we do hit the live button tomorrow. We'll be live with Trading Wars, another popular guy over on YouTube. We'll be looking at his custom indicators, seeing his thoughts. Should be fun. Should be a good time. Yeah, Chewy, interesting play. I kind of do like this company. Another one that's interesting too, let's see, I haven't really looked at it in a bit, is Upwork. Upwork has really been actually doing pretty well. Kind of been in like an anti-market kind of stock. It generally is up when the market is down. It looks like it's up pretty good today. Had a pretty solid last earnings. They pulled back and had a dip here, and they're actually, trading above this recent pivot level right here. Where's Gary? Gary will be back soon. Yeah. Gary is, I don't know what Gary's doing. Yeah, but we'll have him back on again soon. For sure. Love having Gary on. Take a look to see if GME is moving at all. Yeah, it's doing okay here. But again, I think the move is done, you guys. It's on the 1 day minimum there, and that's basically what is going on in that sense. And someone was asking for Oracle. Let's take a look at Oracle because they are going to have their earnings tomorrow. Yeah, you can apply strategies on the chart. Is there any particular strategy that you were thinking of? I mean, there's so many strategies here. We could do some pretty good orb ones. I was looking at this one. I think it was built for Tesla. Let's take a look together. Look at this orb strategy on Tesla, you guys. It outperforms it, and it does pretty damn good. Look at that. Close that out. And you see what this strategy basically does here on Tesla is it looks for the current price close to be greater than the first candle range, the high of the first candle range. So basically an orb long breakout. Then it'll exit at the end of the day, essentially. Or it looks like there's a 1% stop loss price. Tends to do pretty good. Kind of a fun strategy, just one trade a day, essentially, if the breakout happens, that is. So it's a fun one, and it performs really good. Look at this backtest results right here, and you could turn this into an actual bot. It's very important if you are going to launch a bot, you check after candle closes here for your backtest because that'll match exactly what the bot is going to do. Look at this. Over the last 18 months, 170% net performance versus an asset performance of 155%. And it's just a basic 15-minute orb strategy. Max drawdown, only 19.5%. Wins about 46% of the time. Average length is 7 15-minute candles. Reward to risk ratio of 1.7 with a win rate of 46%. That is very nice. And then look at this. You can even click this button here and have Sidekick explain the strategy to you. You click that, it says explain my strategy backtest results. And it's going to read this backtest and show you what is going on. The turtle strategy is free. We just built that for you guys for fun. I can show you the turtle strategy as well in just a sec once this Sidekick prompt goes in, if you guys are interested in that. It's a pretty cool strategy. I actually built that indicator myself. So if any questions on it, you can let me know. It's not an exact carbon copy of what the turtles did because one, it is long only. It does not short the market. And then it does have the pyramiding ads, but it can't do it automatically in a bot, but it does show it on the indicator itself. So let's take a look at this breakdown. So it says you're running an intraday momentum strategy on Tesla's 15-minute, enters when price breaks above today's opening high during the session and exit either at 3 p.m. or with the 1% stop loss. So there's actually no take profit on this orb strategy. It's either just exiting at an hour, like after 3 p.m., like 3:15, and or the 1% stop loss, whichever comes first. Looks like you're only in the market about one out of every 3 days, which is pretty cool. So I think, yeah, I mean, it's clearly working. It's giving you a better performance than Tesla with a way lower drawdown, which is great. But it recently looks like minus 10.8% in the last month, while the strategy historically performs well. Could signal you need a change. Yeah, as you can see, it did have, if you open this here, you can put on the drawdown chart. You see it was down. Yeah, it drew down about 12% in November. So good call there. saying even 19.5% max drawdown is maybe not as good on like a single ticker strategy. Now, look, this is actually really interesting. Looking at your losing trades, 110 out of 220 losses cluster tightly between 1.35% and minus 0.68%, meaning the 1% stop loss is hitting frequently, suggesting it might be too tight for Tesla's volatility, which I would probably agree. 1% is pretty tight. But also, lower win rate. It's actually, the win rate's pretty good for a 1% stop loss. 46% on Tesla. That's pretty damn good. That's really how trend following works. You're going to have a low win rate, and low small losses, but those big wins are going to break out of it. So it's saying check the price behavior explorer to see if you're entering too early or if the 1% stop loss is premature. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's open up the price behavior explorer here and we'll see what is going on. So we have everything checked at the moment. Let me actually take off some of these. I'm going to, this one's cool. So right here, let me just show you guys so it's easier to see. This is the raw data of winners and losers, and this is the stop loss. And as you can see, the stop loss is pretty tight. There's plenty of trades where it went under that 1% stop loss. And then the winners, maybe consider adding a take profit as well. So you don't have all of these, kind of, you can see like the overall max profit that you normally get here on the 1% stop or the exit at end of day is around not much more than 5%, maybe 4%. So yeah, maybe let's try adjusting the take profit and the stop losses. Let me go ahead because this is not my strategy. Let me clone this, run it again. And let's see what we can do here. So remember, these are the stats. Let me load this so it looks right. Let's check something. So let's just change, first of all, stop loss to 2%, see what happens. Woo! Perfect. Done deal. Increased max or net performance by 250 or 79% up to 250. Look at that. That is beautiful. Sharp ratio up 0.66 to 2.54 as a very nice sharp ratio. Max DD went, 2% higher, 2.4% higher. Obviously, you're making the stop loss higher, but also your win rate went up. Look at that. And you can keep asking Sidekick of what to do here. So whoops. Now I'm going to tell it, I updated the stop loss 2% and the performance increased drastically. Do you think I should try adding a take profit also? Or what else do you think would be good? Analyze the new backtest results. So having Sidekick take a look at the new results, told it what I did. The reward to risk ratio it went down a little bit, not by much. I'd say this is obviously a win. Like if you're going to run the strategy, obviously you're going to want to do this, make the stop loss 2%, at least based on this back test. I mean, this is a pretty sick strategy, guys. I'm not going to lie. Let's try it out on maybe NVIDIA. Let's see if kind of same performance. Wow. Guys, this strategy kills it. I'm not going to lie. That net performance, insane. Sharp ratio, insane on NVIDIA. I mean, this thing hardly has drawdown. Did have, what's the max DD? 12% on NVIDIA over the last, 18 months? Pretty sick bot. And you can literally automate the strategy with Signal Stack, you guys. And right now, if you guys sign up for TrendSpider, you will get Signal Stack for free. There's an insane deal. Check out the link down below that I'm dropping in the chat. You quite literally could take this strategy and automate it in Signal Stack, which you normally would have to pay for, and it can go live orders into your broker. Let's take a look at what what Sidekick is saying here. It's saying short answer, test to take profit, but it's skeptical that it'll help. What did they actually test instead? Let's see. Test the strategy on out of sample data. That's a good idea. Test different stop levels around 2%. Yeah, we could try that. See where your winners typically peak. Yeah, we did that. If 80% of winners hit plus 3% before retracing to your 3 p.m. exit, then maybe a trailing stop or a partial take profit makes sense. But you need data, not guesses, of course. So let's see. The 2% stop improvement is real, but needs validation. And run it on out of sample data. So what you can do, instead of testing the last 10,000 candles, you could switch over here to a date range and test it on a different period of the market. Let's try, I don't know. I think 2016 was pretty choppy. Let's just do that. Testing the strategy now on a different date. And it still does pretty good. Oh, this is on NVIDIA. Overall profitable, I mean, it goes pretty much straight up. Sharp ratio of 4.2 is insane. Let's go back to Tesla. So, it still performs well, but not nearly as good on different data. Of course, it's still keeping up pretty good with the Tesla movements itself. So this is the test on out of sample data here. Again, not as good, but is in a much tougher market of 2016. Let's test on yet another sample of data here. Let's go maybe into like, I don't know, 2020. This one might be good. Yeah, 2020. Look at that. This starts in, June of 2020. I mean, yeah, when the market started ripping and absolutely destroys buy and hold. 56% win rate, 3.26 sharp ratio. So yeah, pretty good stuff, you guys. It's always been fun. Oh, and I mean, honestly, this is a little bit cooler than the turtle strategy. But if you guys want to go over that turtle strategy, I definitely can. But this is the strategy. It should be in the TrendSpider store. Let me see if it's in there. Believe this is it right here. And if you guys are still sticking around, you're finding this helpful at all, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Yeah, here is this 15-minute strategy that I've been using. I just dropped it in the chat below. And by the way, guys, if you sign up for TrendSpider, you can literally get one-on-ones with our customer support team. And you can get quite a few of them if you sign up for the advanced plan. And again, you guys, you can try out the platform for $1. I'm pretty sure that comes with the ability to talk to one of our customer support. And either way, if you're on the platform, you just click contact us down here and just contact them anytime. Even if it's not a one-on-one, they'll still reply to you in the chat. And they're very good at building strategies. I'm pretty sure one of the customer support gentlemen, or actually our COO now, actually built this strategy, I think. But yeah, definitely take advantage of the current sale, you guys. And you get Signal Stack for free. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm all over the place. We'll take a look at Oracle right now. Get lost in the sauce. Look at Oracle here. Let me go ahead and do something for you guys. Let's go ahead and ask our sidekick what is going on. All right. Telling it analyze Oracle ahead of its earnings tomorrow. Summarize the fundamentals, yada, yada, yada. Basically, Sidekick is going to do a lot of the work for us, but purely from a chart perspective, let's actually throw on one of Shonda's indicators. TC Power Band is one of my favorites. So what this indicator is, it's a trend following indicator. And to break it down really easy for you guys, when the background is painted green, you should be long. And then the dotted line is going to be your stop loss. So it looks like it hit the stop there. You would have got long here around 125 and stopped out at about 157. You would have got back in probably at 175 and stopped out recently at 225. So that's on the weekly chart. Let's take a look at the daily. Daily is trending to the downside right now. You see that red shading in the background? That means the trend is to the downside. We'll add the chats indicator. By the way, if you guys sign up again for the sale, you can get a Shonda indicator, a paid one, for free. I'll drop a link for all of Shonda's indicators down below in the chat so you guys can take a look at them. There are some that are actually free. But look at the chats indicator. The chats indicator is pretty low. It's not really trending. No, it's definitely trending down on the pair of bands indicator. It was in the short level down here on the chats indicator at the end of November. So now it's not looking super great. Right now, from a trend following perspective, you wouldn't be in, but you would be in probably if it broke above this level. If you added, although the, which one is it? The blast indicator, which is buy at the low, sell at the top. It's more of a counter trend. So like a mean reversion, you would actually be long. So if you're, trading more of a mean reversion type strategy, you would have gotten long on, like December 3rd, probably, or maybe the day after that, the 4th. And then your stop loss would be around this, the low end of this candle right here. What is it? See if they add up. 185.63. Yeah, 185.63. So under that candle. So if you were to play this, you'd probably say your stop somewhere under 185. And you definitely could play this mean reversion play. Let's see how the fundamentals are looking. Thanks to Sidekick here. EPS estimate of $1.50, revenue estimate of $16.2 billion. Big market cap. Damn, they have a 632 billion market cap. P ratio is about 50, elevated from the range in prior quarters, which is interesting. Net profit margin is down a little bit, about 2%. Operating margin is stable, though, and gross profit margin is a little bit down. So a little bit of margin trend concern, but not really. It's pretty good overall. Let's take a look here. So I like to look at the bull case and the bear case. Q1 showed strong EPS beat momentum. Let's just take a look at the numbers over here. As you can see, the revenue is pretty much growing year over year, every quarter except for in Q3 2024. EPS pretty much the same. So pretty solid looking there fundamentally. Q1 26 did have a negative revenue report based on analyst expectations, though. So they do miss analyst expectations, honestly, quite a bit. And their margins are not helping that. So let's see. Oracle faces a high stakes earning report. Stock is already down 40% from the highs. While the sell-off has reset expectations, margin compression, debt concerns, and competitive threats create meaningful execution risk. So overall take from Sidekick is the risk to reward is balanced but tilting slightly bearish given the margin pressures. Stock needs a strong beat and raise to reverse momentum. That is probably a pretty solid way to look at it. Now, if you set up a position tool here to just see your risk to reward, and you set your stop somewhere down here. And I don't know, maybe you're expecting, so this risk to reward right here is about at 1.27. You might even just see back to up here to this previous range. Not the greatest risk to reward in the world, unless you're expecting it to, to get to a 2R, at least from right now's price. You need like a 34% gain, $75 a share, pretty much back. Is that all-time highs? Yeah, I mean, like pretty much back to all-time highs you would need. So it's not like my favorite play, honestly. Has bounced up pretty nicely from this low already, broken above these counter trend entry points on Shonday's indicator. But again, it does have some resistance to break through right here. So yeah, it's definitely not something I would personally play going into earnings, but if it does have a nice report, and have good forward guidance, I'd maybe consider it. If you put on back the band indicator on the weekly chart, you can see pretty much above, like 231, 236 would be good to see it back above this line and back into a long area. Yes, this is live, Coffee Tune. Welcome. We have been live for, I have no idea how long at this point, a little bit over an hour. But yes, welcome to TrendSpider Live. If this is your first time, make sure to go to our YouTube and hit subscribe, or just follow us on X. I see you are on X, actually, because we're going to be going live again for FOMC tomorrow. If you guys have any other questions, definitely let me know down in the chat below. I was supposed to do something else, you guys. It's going to test a giveaway feature. Again, I already tested it last time, but I just want to see how you guys do with this. So what I want you guys to do, if you guys are out there, whether you're on X or you're on YouTube, type FOMC into the chat below. And that's going to allow you to be entered into not a giveaway today, but tomorrow. So if you type FOMC into the chat right now, it's going to put you in this list. I'm going to spin the wheel just so you guys can see it. So please do type FOMC and put it in the chat below. Just going to test something. I see one entry now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I see a couple. Awesome. Awesome. And it does seem to be working. Love it. Love it. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, because I'm going to be doing the same thing tomorrow, but except for you're actually going to have the chance to win a free TrendSpider account. All you have to do is show up tomorrow. And once I tell you guys to type FOMC into the chat, you just do it like you're doing right now. And I'm going to show you what's going to happen. All you guys that entered this are being entered into this wheel. We got 6 people so far. Thank you for doing this. And then at some point during the stream, probably a little bit after Mr. Powell speaks, I'm going to click draw, and one of you guys is going to win a free account. So definitely tune in tomorrow. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because one, you're going to want to see, we're going to be streaming Powell live. You're absolutely going to be wanting to see that. And you're also going to want the chance probably to win a free TrendSpider account, because I'm going to give one away. All you have to do is type something in the chat. That's literally it. It could not be easier. So if you guys are still out there and you haven't entered yet, go ahead and type FOMC in the chat. I'll give you guys until 2 more minutes. Then I'll hit draw. You guys aren't going to win anything right now. I'm just testing this for tomorrow. Just for fun. Awesome. We got another entry. We got a good mix of people from YouTube and X, which is perfect. What else reports earnings tomorrow, you guys? We got Oracle and Adobe. Let's take out Adobe. Man, Adobe looks terrible. Even on the weekly, we're in a short position here on the Shonda indicator. Daily's been kind of choppy, but pretty clear weekly trend to the downside. Probably wouldn't be playing this. As you can see, there's a little drawing here, this little sort of triangle. I'm master at these chart patterns. I don't trade them. But you got a downtrend line that we're testing the top of right now. They're probably going to want to break above, slightly just above that. We got the stop loss for the short. And yes, I do kind of know Mayhem. He was going to come on one of our streams sometime in the past, but I think he's working on some indicators for the platform before he comes on. But yeah, he's a cool guy. All right, you guys, let's take a look and let's draw. We're going to draw from this FOMC entry right now. And let's see who is going to win no, you're not going to win anything right now. It's for tomorrow. We're testing it for tomorrow. But if this were tomorrow, Coffee Tune, you would have won a free TrendSpider account. But make sure you guys tune back in tomorrow. We're going to be doing the same thing here live, except tomorrow it won't be a test, and you will actually be able to get a free TrendSpider account giveaway. And all you'll have to do is type in FOMC into the chat, and that's it. We're going to draw just like that. Then we'll have you guys DM us on X or send us an email. If you don't have X, woo, yeah, love it. So that'll be fun tomorrow. Logan, if you're talking about the GME earnings, not really. They're not really that good. Why? Because they missed revenue. Let me open up the chart. Yeah, GME missed their it's called their revenue number on both year over year and analyst expectations, but they did have a really good EPS number. But overall, the stock did drop about almost 6%, about 6%. So I wouldn't say it's very good. But you never know what's going to happen tomorrow, of course. But yeah, we did analyze those earlier. If you wanted to rewind the stream and watch us see the reaction in real time, you can go ahead and do that if you wanted to. Yeah, and if you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. But I mean, market's been closed for about an hour at this point. There's no call that I am seeing. I'm not seeing an earnings call. So we'll probably just go ahead and call it here pretty soon. Make sure you guys subscribe and join in tomorrow. Yeah, another GME hype train would be pretty sick. I agree. I do agree with that. But, you know, ever since that 2021 kind of craziness here, we haven't seen much. We saw another pop there in May of 2024. Actually pretty good pop. Didn't last very long. But yeah, I got pretty close up to the top over there. You can check out the volume by price. So you see right now, since inception, basically, there is a pretty decent volume point of control, or VWAP actually, forming here around this 20 range. And if you recall, the auto fib bands that we plotted are sitting at, you know, the same exact spot right there. So we have multiple levels of support lined up. I think 20 is the most crucial level here on GameStop. We can hold that level. Maybe we'll see a pop up to 30 or even 40. You know, you can play those psychological levels. If you draw the position tool, what's that like? Well, what are we trading in after hours right now? We're at 2184. Let me get the position tool. Now let's check out the risk to reward. If you were to just stop out, I don't know, somewhere around there, and then maybe play a pop up back to this 50% retracement level. That's a 5-to-1 risk reward to risk. What stocks do you think are going to the moon? Oh man, will GME have a bounce back after this fall? I don't know. I guess it could. It's going to have to break above and hold this 20 level. But even if it does hold the 20 level, it still may not go anywhere. It's, I mean, not something that I would be personally playing. But you know, the risk reward isn't bad. As you can see, I just used the risk tool here. You know, if you just set your stop, you know, under 20, maybe at 16, whatever this is, 77, hold until like 40. That's a pretty good risk to reward. I don't hate it. Do not hate it. As far as stocks going to the moon, I mean, I just like to look where the money is flowing, and I use TrendSpider to do that with my sector ETF list. As I said earlier, I plot the sector ETFs. Right now, the money's flowing into silver. I don't know how long money will continue flowing into silver like this, but it is the clear winner at the moment. Pretty insane, honestly. Let me hide these bands. Get rid of the volume points of control, the volume by price. Where is my volume by price? There it is. Turn on log scale. As you can see, silver recently broke to new all-time highs and is just flying. It's up again today. Amazing breakout. So that's what's been performing well recently. But then the XRT sector has also been emerging, along with, of course, semiconductors. We do have AVGO earnings this week. AVGO, Broadcom has been doing incredibly well, has been trending very, very nice here on the daily charts, basically at all-time highs. Very, very close. Solid revenue growth. So if they have good earnings and guidance tomorrow, I would expect for this trend to probably continue. Let's take a look at Shonday's indicator on it. Yeah, it's gone in the weekly. So it's been in a weekly uptrend ever since May. Hasn't really even came close to a stop. On the daily, it's been a bit choppy. Caught a lot of this move again back in May. Got on in August. You know, got maybe a little bit of profit here. Chopped around here. And then we're back in this uptrend zone again ever since November. So if you were in AVGO, you know, somewhere your stop is like at like 345 or so, whatever that dot is at. And you guys want to, you could create an alert at this line if you happen to hop in to AVGO. But this one has earnings coming up. We'll be live for those, so make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can watch the live stream once those are coming out. Lulu is very interesting. It looks like it's starting to break its downtrend. On the daily, that is, at least. Look at this. This is an interesting one. Take a look at Lulu here. Let's go down to the monthly. See if there was, yeah. I mean, guys, the market remembers levels, even if it's from 2018. Look at this. This clear pivot level right there has been recently reacted to. Let's take a look. Let's draw some anchored VWAP starting from the bottom here. Yeah, we got an anchored VWAP there. Let's draw an all-time high anchored VWAP. Anchored VWAP is such a great tool. Let's draw a few more here. So we're at a pretty critical point in Lulu. The bulls definitely needed to hold around this 165 pivot level. We got a couple anchored VWAPs. Maybe it'll go back down to this. What is this? The code, or that's a 2009 low anchored VWAP. That is a lot of trading data, you guys. That's 2009. So Lulu's not bad. I mean, if you draw a risk profile diagram, whatever you want to call it, a risk to reward to risk tool here. Pretty good risk to reward to risk on Lulu. I mean, even if you just shot for a 2, you'd only need to go up to about 240. That's if you set your stop pretty tight there, just right under the recent low. If you wanted to, make it lower there, that's a pretty big stop, 20%. But still, I mean, reasonable R, 2R. $2026 being a good movie year matter for AMC? What do you mean by good movie year? But I mean, yeah, ultimately, yeah, it probably would. If there's a lot of expected, I'm no movie expert, but if there's a lot of good movies expected coming in 2026, definitely would be good for AMC. However, AMC looks horrible on the chart at the moment. It's basically hitting all-time lows. Yeah, AMC is doing pretty terrible. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that sentiment at all. I think that's a reasonable. I mean, yeah, I think it would matter for the stock if people start seeing a ton of movies. When did Barbie and like Oppenheimer come out? Because that's like the last time I remember movies were popping. 2023. Barbie movie came out on July 1st of 2023. Makes it easy on the monthly chart. Just go to July. It's the first candle. Oh, no. AMC did great in July, but then absolutely got destroyed like a month after those, Barbie and Oppenheimer came out. So I don't know. Let me just add this note right here. Barbie / Oppenheimer release. So do with this info what you will. I don't know. I'm no movie critic, but I'm pretty that was like the last time I remember movies were popping off. And look what I don't know. That was probably not to do with that, to be fair. Just a funny comparison. It's like right here. Pretty sure it's like probably an earnings report that sent them dumping like that. Yeah, it was an earnings report. Quarter 2, 2023, which they actually did a beat on revenue and EPS, and they dumped. I don't know. Very, very weird. But I mean, with where AMC is trading now, see if there's any other movie stocks that aren't in an insanely terrible downtrend. What other movie stocks are there aside from AMC? None come to mind right off the top. Oh yeah, Netflix. That makes sense. Cineverse, CINE or IMAX. Interesting. Let's take a look at those. What the hell? I guess it's not Paramount. Disney. Disney's an interesting one. If they are Disney movies, that is. Is IMAX? Yeah, IMAX. Interesting. Look at IMAX. See what Sidekick has to say. Yeah, it says IMAX, RGC, CINE. Oh, same as CNK. So it must be CNK. Cinemark. I mean, guys, movie stocks, they really haven't gone anywhere, to be honest. I think IMAX probably looks the best. Trading pretty close to all-time highs there. But yeah, personally, I would avoid the whole AMC, GME stuff if you wanted to play specifically movies. You go Warner Bros. This was like the buyout news, though, with Netflix. And then, yeah, Netflix is also a good one, but not really a direct movie theater stock, of course. It's like they had a death cross. Netflix looks terrible. But I don't know. I'd probably be looking at IMAX. It's RGC. This is not, that's a bioscience company. Yeah, it went bankrupt. That's a different one. MCCS. Yeah, no. Paramount PRA? No. Yeah, I mean, if I was forced, I'd probably go to IMAX here. They look pretty good. They're trending well. That's if you want to avoid, the whole AMC debacle, because they do not look very good on the charts. But yeah, guys, it's probably going to do it for today. If you guys are still out there, thanks for sticking around. Make sure you guys join in for the live stream tomorrow, because again, you're going live for FOMC and you're going to be able to potentially win a free TrendSpider account by literally just showing up and typing something into the chat. So yeah, you guys, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like, notification bell, so you can join in tomorrow, potentially win that free account. Join in Thursday as well. We have Ripster and then Trading Wars on tomorrow. Trading Wars tomorrow, Ripster Thursday. So we have a couple guests for the rest of the week. Oh yeah, turtle strategy. What was your question about the turtle strategy again? I can show it real quick. I mean, it is free. Why is it? Where is the turtle at? There it is. Should be this one. Not sure why it's not in the account. And then to also get the indicator, see, I'm just adding them straight from the platform. Turtle trading strategy right here. Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it tomorrow, I'm sure, for sure. We're going to have a lot of time tomorrow. But yeah, it's just a trend following strategy, pretty similar to those Sean Day indicators. I think it was done on AMD. Works pretty good on AMD. Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow. But it's pretty basic, it's just break of a new high and then an ATR stop loss, and that's pretty much it. Pretty much it. Looks like it's not in a position on AMD now. Let's check out on SPY. Actually entered SPY there on December 4th. But yeah, we'll talk about it more tomorrow. So make sure you guys subscribe and you check back in tomorrow. Look at that. Turtle entry December 5th on SPY. Pretty damn consistent here as well. You can see right there. So yeah, we'll talk about it again tomorrow. QQQ. Now I'm curious as well. Is it in QQQ? Nope. It's in SPY, but not Qs. Let's check out IWM. IWM, it should be in like here. So it's interesting. It's in all the IWM SPY, but not Qs. So cool. All right. Well, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. You guys have a great rest of your day. See you later. See you guys tomorrow.